We are back. We've got a new traitor on our backs.
Traitor?
Alex.
What?
That's you.
Me?
You're a traitor.
What have I done?
That's what I've heard. We are back down under with another episode of Faithful to the Traitors. And the Traitors are playing such a good game that there's now an extra one added in.
Well, I mean, you can't really credit them for that. The production crew are playing such a good game, and they added another traitor to the mix.
Yes. So they just
wow,
showed
we're
it,
going
didn't
straight
they?
in. You're
Well,
not even
that's what
introducing yourself.
Oh yeah, I've introduced you, haven't I? Because
Yeah,
Alex
I'm
being
here.
a traitor.
Hi, everyone.
That was the joke.
It's
Yeah.
just me.
I'm Ben, and I am still faithful.
You're like the Paul of this podcast.
But Alex is
now a traitor. I am now a traitor.
Mm.
For the first time ever, I can actually say that with conviction as well. My name is Alex, and I am a traitor. That feels pretty good. I hope there's a Ben on like one of the series, so then you get the chance to say the same thing.
No, never. Won't happen. But yeah, they just kind of went in it from breakfast. They didn't even leave Alex till last. She just walked in and she was like, "Yeah, I accepted." Didn't really think about it.
Nope.
She basically, her reasoning was, there's 50% less chance of me leaving the show if I'm a traitor, so I might as well just accept.
I mean, that did feel like a made-up statistic, to be honest with you. Like, if I'd stayed in, it would have been 22.6% of me a chance of winning the money. But with this, I've greatly added 50%
it does
to
half
that.
the chance because you don't get murdered, but you can get banished.
Well,
So it's 50%.
But then I think it increases your chance of getting banished because Marielle is such a bitch.
Well, yeah, Marielle does balance the scales.
Don't you think she was
Again,
really
when we say
cocky?
Marielle is a bitch, we're talking about her as in this game.
Oh, in the game, yes.
Not
I'm sure
in
she's
real life.
lovely. Well, she did do that. I can't get over what she said on the first episode when she said she got her friends into trouble at university.
Oh, people do silly things when they're young.
She's older now, and she seemed quite proud of it. And she's so impressed.
Got her on a show.
Don't you think she's a bit cocky? She's gotten a bit cocky. Like when Alex joined them in the Traitors Tower, like Mario was like, "Yeah, welcome." Yeah, it's difficult to begin with, but it becomes easier after a while. Yeah,
Once you backstab everyone like me,
and she showed off. She gloated the fact that she was the one who instigated the Angus and Claire eviction. She was like,
imagine saying that to a new
out.
traitor. You'll be sitting there thinking, right, well, you're going to do it to me then.
Well,
That's
it's all
what I'd be
fine because
thinking.
Nigel made them pinky promise that they wouldn't.
Yeah,
do
Marielle did that
Pinky promise.
reluctantly. Did you see her? She was like,
Oh yeah. Because she always does. She never. This is the first time
her.
she's actually given a kind of like a straightish answer or a straightish reaction to something.
but reluctantly did it. Her pinky promise, she was like shaking her hands.
Yeah.
Like, no.
And then Nigel was like, "And you have to kiss your fist."
No.
I think Nigel just wanted to smell their sweet perfumes. Nigel can't believe his luck. He's surrounded by beautiful women.
Now, the breakfast was a bit odd because Roger, no murder. Roger came in. Who was the last one to come in? Was it
Teresa was the last one to come in,
that,
but they
that
thought
set off stuff, didn't
well,
it?
they all thought Teresa had been murdered because
Fee was very upset. Crying.
Fee was having a breakdown, but the rest of the group were pretty sad about it. And
This
then
week,
Teresa walked
pause.
in.
This week,
Yep,
it's like Juno Birch. Then pause. This week, Fee looked like Heidi from Sugar Babes. Carry on.
I mean, some people might not know who the Sugar Babes are.
Yes, they do.
They're
Heidi from Sugar Babes.
UK and European.
2.0.
Do you think outside of the UK?
Well, I don't care. If you want to know who Heidi from the Sugar Babes is, just Google Heidi from the Sugar Babes.
How Sugar Babes, and Sugar Babes spelled
Sugar.
SUGA.
Yeah.
Babes.
They're
All
the,
one word.
they're the opposite to the Spice Girls. Sugar, Spice, Babes
Was that
Girls.
why they called themselves the Sugar Babes?
Yeah, because they're the cooler version. The younger, cooler version.
They're the ones who sang Round Round.
Yeah, they sang lots of songs.
Round Round. Oh, Push the Button.
Yeah.
That's my favourite one. I listened to that on a loop when I was a young man.
So that's who she was giving off this week. So anyway, carry on.
I forgot what I was saying.
Teresa came in. Fee was crying.
Yeah.
Everyone was really upset.
Everyone was upset, but Kate felt like she picked up on something because obviously, again, and they're all saying it too now. They're all looking at a micro reaction, like a small change,
character change. You're different from episode 1.
Yeah, a shift
when
from
you were
one...
first on camera and were nervous around production.
Yeah, now you're more confident. You must be the traitor. But they're all looking for it, and Kate is adamant that when Teresa came in, the way her general persona was. Is that she seemed to know that there was a new traitor before Roger had said anything.
And she didn't look round to notice that no one had been murdered. Like she knew no one had been murdered.
Yeah, which is again something
stupid.
else someone else had said before who'd recently been banished as well. That the reason they banished them. I wish I could remember now. A couple of episodes.
But it's a bit stupid because like Teresa walked into a room where everyone was literally crying.
Yeah.
So like, and then everyone suddenly cheered all of a sudden and ran towards her. What does Kate expect Teresa to do? Like stop and go, wait, let me count, who's been murdered? Oh no. Like her reaction was pretty normal, I think.
But again,
that was a fee reaction, that was.
It's
someone saying,
I was about to say, it's a very high, very high, like suspicious behaviour by everyone. You're locked in this environment. It must be so tense. It must be such a mind fuck that small little things is such a that's what you think is the problem. And you can see that you see it in Teresa a little bit. I think Teresa is slowly going a little bit hysterical as well. And that's why Fee and Teresa are very similar. But like you say, Fee's the same. Fee's kind of like looking for anything and everything. The reason the banishment happened this week was because of something Fee was obsessed with.
An episode ago.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So it's
Chloe's not here anymore. Who gives a shit?
Luckily, they don't seem to use Chloe's
no, but replace Chloe
anymore.
With the sentence. The sentence that Dirk
Chloe's not
said.
here anymore. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
But Fee just kind of picks up on anything people say. So that's Fee's thing. But the thing is, the influence, and we said this last episode, the influence with Teresa and Fee is so good in the group now that those things are the things that people are voting and banishing people for now. Teresa and Fee do seem to have the power within the faithful.
Someone tweeted us, they said, I hate to criticise your creative process, but lads... You need to appreciate Teresa on the podcast more.
I do. Oh my goodness. I 100% appreciate Teresa. I don't think I've ever said anything bad about Teresa. I've just said that she seems, I don't know. She's playing a great game, but it's weird because she's almost playing a game like a traitor as a faithful. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like
no,
she's...
I think she's... If in any normal circumstance, she just looks like a normal player. But like for some reason they're like, I don't know, because of what Matt put on everyone, she just seems to be pressing it a bit much. But I think she's playing a pretty normal game. No, she reminds me of Hannah from the UK series, the comedian. Oh yeah, I get where you're coming from with that. But I didn't like Hannah when it first started, if you remember rightly. But to be fair, I don't think I've ever said I've disliked Teresa. There's been characters I've openly disliked. Just said you need to put. I mean, they did have a accompanying video soundbite with their tweet. I'm going to play it into a microphone because I'm just so...
This will be great quality. Oh.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
Okay, fine.
That was Wendy Williams, everyone.
I love Wendy Williams. Doula peep. I think... I love Teresa.
But she's
I really
still in
do.
the game, so there's more time for us to talk about her.
She's clearly not Chloe. Chloe can go do one. I mean, I've already said my opinions on Chloe.
Yes.
To be fair, all the players in this series I've actually one way or another liked. There's been something I've really liked about them.
Even Marielle, who's the villain, inverted commas, is still likeable to watch.
She's not likeable, but she's good to watch.
Yeah, as a traitor.
Yeah, she's not likeable by any stretch of the imagination. She always gets me angry.
She was given the poison chalice.
Oh, she wanted the poison chalice. She wanted it
down
bad.
The poison chalice.
She wanted that real bad.
Teresa did what she always does in the challenges, though, where Roger says... Oh, one thing we were going to say about Roger, actually, we've skipped past it, was we're annoyed. He announced that there's a new traitor to everyone.
Yeah, I thought
without
that was
anyone asking.
Blindsided. I don't think they should have done that.
No.
He could have hinted the fact that someone's, no one's been murdered. I wonder why. Something like that. That would have been cool, because then that would have wound them up even more.
Someone could have... I think in the UK one, it was, did you accept or not? And then they said, but he literally said, there's a new traitor.
No, Claudia Winkleman in the UK didn't say anything, but the contestant or the player who was asked was open and honest and said, I had been asked. But no, the presenter never said anything about it.
So silly Roger. So that was annoying for me. But the challenge, though, Teresa, what she always does on a challenge every single week. Roger comes along. He owns a prison apparently as well. But he comes along and says 2 people can do the thing where you just stand around, bit of the task. And of course, Tracer put her hand up for that. Like she did on the Squid Game moment. She stood there remembering the things. On the finding the vases and artwork, she stood on the balcony
with Dirk.
And on this one, she was in the room, the filing room, just waiting around with Kate, waiting to press a button.
It was good though, because I liked that her and Kate were in the room together, because it kind of showed that actually they've got a good friendship outside of the banishment room. As soon as they get into the banishment room, then there's fire between them.
They're better, these contestants, at separating things
entirely.
Because even Mark and Angus were like friends, but they kept voting for each other. So yeah,
they and even Kate said that they can separate what happens in the banishing room to what they do the task. They're really good actually as a team tasks. They're really good working as a team in the tasks, which goes to show that actually they're if they weren't in this environment, they'd probably be excellent friends. I'd really be interested if any of them are friends outside of the show now. Actually, that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, we got a VT, but we got Dirk's VT, I think, didn't we, this week, with him in his hotel?
Yeah, we found out that he wasn't actually a concierge.
He is, but he's also an actor.
But he does that on the side, doesn't he? But his acting and his, I want to say Voldemort, but it's not, is it? It's
Voldemort.
It's
cabaret.
It's a kind of cabaret act. Yeah, he does. But there's a name for it. I can't think of the name for it now.
Cabaret?
No. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm certain.
Still yet to get Paul's VT.
What's happening with him? Really, honestly, what's happening with justice for Paul?
Cabaret performer is the what we're.
Okay, that's the official term. Okay.
Yes. Yes, Paul. This is all very strange. It feels like he's been edited out of existence in a cancellation moment.
I feel like he's been cancelled. Yeah, I feel like something's happened off the show.
Well, I did a quick search to see if anything was to do with this, because we don't want to be celebrating Paul as we have been for 8 episodes in a row.
Like we shouldn't celebrate him anymore.
So I've had a look. He wasn't cancelled.
Okay.
So we can continue celebrating Paul, who we think maybe Northern, but we don't know because we don't ever hear him speak.
But yeah, Paul, who at the top of the podcast this series, I said was the most Australian man ever to walk this earth.
He looked like a Neighbours / Home and Away character.
I was calling him Doug Willis for a long time because he reminded me of a Neighbours character. Then he spoke. He has an English Northern accent.
We think, but we're not sure because the editing was overlapped with his speech.
Still, this episode, Paul was not shown entering the breakfast room, not shown playing the game, not shown voting for the banishment.
His vote is literally, he puts his card down and says the person's name, and then they cut really
Sometimes
quickly.
they don't even show that.
I know.
They just cut to the name and that's it.
But someone on Facebook, on the Traitors Australia official fan group, said...
Hi, guys.
They said this like a year ago.
Oh.
They said...
Hi, guys.
I've been watching Australia Traitors. Does anyone know why they appear to have edited Paul out of all existence? There is barely any footage of him aside from anything that is essential to the show, e.g. voting. And even then, they only feature him very, very briefly.
Does that mean that he's literally not going to be even getting a VT at the end of the series?
Who knows?
Why am I being denied knowledge of Paul?
Well, Dirk commented.
What, the Dirk?
The Dirk, yes.
The Dirk. Oi, yes. Dirk.
Dirk. He said he definitely wasn't boring. Because the person said, was he just boring? That's why it wasn't a thing. But he talked a lot about production, and it couldn't be included in any final edits, so they never had much footage of him to show, because all his stuff would be talking about stuff that happened
when he had his
production,
interview with like the producers and bits and pieces like that.
I suppose so. I don't know.
Stupid Paul.
That's all Dirk says, which is very annoying. He's just that one sentence, and then everyone's replying, but he doesn't do another.
Like, Paul doesn't even get mentioned by the
people.
He doesn't get mentioned by Roger. Like, Roger sometimes points out to people and like has one-to-one conversations with people. Ish, kind of, interacts with like, winks, a little wink at Kate here, a little chin wiggle of Lewis here, there. It just feels odd. I feel like I'm not allowed to know about Paul, and I want to know why. I feel like there's more to it than what we're being told.
I know. Someone else has replied saying, I've worked in production. Of course, if someone acknowledges production and talks about the crew it can't be used, but it's always an easy edit, and they should have 10 times the amount of footage to use around it. So that person doesn't understand why.
Yeah, Paul couldn't have.
He says it seems like they've turned Paul's microphone feed off during the whole thing. So it's all it's odd, isn't it? Poor Paul.
Can we at least get his VT, please? Can you just re-edit it just for me? I just want to see
he's
his
not,
VT.
He's not left the show yet, so there's still time.
But I want to know about Paul.
I know,
Is he Northern?
We haven't done his fact file yet. He's the only one now waiting. Even Alex has stepped up and part of the game.
We're going to get to the end of the series, and we're going to do his fact file. The mystery for me is he
Northern.
from the UK? Is he Northern? Did he move to Australia? Why did he move to Australia? And why does he look so Australian? Doesn't he just... I'm looking at a picture of him right now. He looks so Australian. When I heard his Northern voice, I was like, what's happening? I can't understand this. I'm confused. I'm so confused.
Everyone just says they're confused. Someone said, I thought I was the only person who had to Google this. It turns out everyone I know who watches this show just as clueless as me. All I can imagine is some kind of scandal for him.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a scandal going on here. There has
Someone
to be a
has said
scandal.
that,
Has to be. It can't be denied.
Very early on in the show, he was shown kind of sneaking up behind Fee at breakfast and sort of kissing the back of her head. Probably totally innocent, but she swooped a glance with Mark? I think it started gliding. And then he was never focused on again. Drove me insane. I don't know if any of that is true. My partner thought maybe he had a skin condition. He had cut part of his lip in a few shots and just did not look that good on camera, ? Everything I just said then is not backed up with evidence or anything, so don't take what I just said as gospel.
Was he like a gremlin or something that if he gets wet after midnight, he turns into a monster, and so they decided not to do... This is just so confusing me. I don't understand.
If anyone knows the truth of Paul, get in touch, please.
If anyone's a friend, family member, or indeed Paul... Can you please? Are you Northern? Can you please get in touch with us at Traitors Pod if you're on Twitter? If you're not, just send us an email, Paul. I'm sure you know how to do it. faithfultothetraitors@gmail.com. Or find us on Instagram, Faithful to the Traitors. I am intrigued. Paul is taking over my life. I go to work.
A traitor.
I go to work and I sit there thinking, I'm tapping my pencil.
Maybe you're the one with the problem.
And I'm thinking about Paul.
Right, so we've spent 3/4 of the show talking about Paul.
Well, I think he deserves
at least someone has.
Because no one else has.
They did the prison challenge and they won money and they had to go to different prison cells and shout out numbers.
They're up to 170,000 Australian dollars.
Lewis the Sparky was trying his best to do it, but he never got any of the keys for ages.
I tell you, got loads of keys.
I know, it was Fee and...
It was Roger, Nigel and Fee. Nigel and Fee. They got 3
don't
of
know
the
what Paul
6
did,
bars.
but I don't know. Yeah, they got a lot of them.
This is what I mean. I have no idea what Paul did in that challenge. Like, I could literally think back and in my...
You saw the back of his head in the corner of a shot once, maybe. And that's about it.
I mean, I saw him at the breakfast table, and he was certainly at the banishment. It's like when they have the conversations before the banishment as well.
Yeah,
I've never seen Paul. He's there, but he's never there. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe he's playing the best game out of them all, and we just don't know it.
Maybe no one else can see him, and only we can. Maybe Chloe brought him back from the other side.
Maybe he's a spirit.
Yeah, and she just left him there. It's like, you can look after it now, Paul. I've given it to you.
Or Chloe is inside of him. Anyway.
Well, like being John Malkovich. She's like controlling him from his brain.
So before the banishment, they all have their little chats and talks. So
yes,
what was
the main talking point was the fact that Kate thought that her behaviour was different at breakfast, and everyone was going to vote for Dirk. And again, Dirk kind of... last episode, Dirk kind of fought quite eloquently. This time, he kind of gave up.
You can't really say much more because, like, he said it last episode. What can you say?
I thought it was unfair.
It's been like 12 hours.
Yeah, Lewis kind of said, like, you've not fought hard enough. And it's like, yeah, what can you really say now?
You said it.
He was just going around in circles again. And I think he was even getting tired of just having to explain what he said at that task to Fee.
It was stupid. But didn't Mario want Teresa out, didn't she? She was kind of planting seeds for
Marielle
that.
was literally going to Kate and saying that she wanted Teresa out, going to Teresa and saying she wanted Kate out, and then at the
I thought that was a really
Tower,
dangerous thing, because what if they were both together and asked her? She'd be like...
Yeah, she'd be blindsided.
Yeah, so that's really stupid.
But I think ultimately Marielle wants Kate out because I think she sees Kate as an equal to her. I think she sees Kate as a bit of a sneaky snake.
She's wanted her out for ages because she's always up for murder, possibility of murder, where we see her glance from her bed looking scared every time. It's like, how many times are they going to get Kate to film that?
I
It's like the seventh time.
Hang on, I don't think they filmed it again and again
Oh,
and
is it
again.
not different ones every time?
No, Kate had the same one.
Oh, I thought they did different ones every time.
What, you thought that the production... I'm sounding like Paul. You think that the production made her just react the same way each time?
Well, it's a bit different every time, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's the
Oh,
same.
is it the same one?
It's just using the same shot. It's like when
God's
someone does get murdered, you see the feathers fly into the air and you see the lampshade fall to the
that's
ground.
The same.
They're not
but-
re-recording it each week.
Oh, they use it on the English version. They do it each time. A new thing that they're doing. Remember
Those-
Thingy in the shower?
But no, those clips will never be the same as the ones in the American version when they're just like shaving. Or what was that one from Below Deck? He was like blowing bubbles toward the camera.
Yeah, in a bath.
Yeah, idiots.
Oh, that's disappointing.
There you
me.
go. But Dirk ultimately.
No, I'm
lost
sad
out.
about this because I liked Dirk.
Me too.
I thought he was a really good character.
He didn't do much for the game, in my opinion. And I think that was also something else that they pointed out. Kate pointed that out. Kate said that she deliberately voted at the management table. She deliberately voted for Kirk because she
it was a
wanted to see.
test.
It was a test to see
If Craig would follow.
if Craig would follow, and also what Dirk would do. Whether Dirk would then kind of play dirty and then try to do the same. But Dirk didn't.
None
Dirk
of that
wasn't
happened.
no, Dirk wasn't
Good
really.
one, Kate.
Well, Dirk wasn't really much of a player though. He kind of just sat in the sidelines and watched
Yeah, it's
everyone
nice
else
having
discuss
people
it.
like that, though.
But it's a
like,
dangerous position to be because you're sitting on the fence and people, again, don't trust that.
But Alex did that for episodes and episodes. She just went under the radar. It's funny. Some people just go under and, like Paul, for example.
God knows
he's
what's going
still
on
in
with
the
Paul.
show, so he's just going under the radar, the same as Dirk was.
Paul
but
baffles me. Just baffles me.
it's an
Every time
enigma
his
we will
name...
never unravel.
He's a puzzle wrapped in enigma. It's like just...
In a block of cheese.
I cannot get my head around Paul. Alex kind of goes for... Kind of agrees with people, though. Do you know what I mean?
She's
Like,
playing like a dumb airhead on purpose, isn't she? Is what she's doing. She goes, yeah, to
Yeah.
everything. But I don't think she's really like that.
I think she's been waiting the whole game to somehow become a traitor, and now she has. I think she always wanted to be a traitor, and now she has. She's relishing it.
Just got to watch out for Marielle, though, because she's going to get
Both of them need to work out.
Yeah,
for
and
Marielle.
Nigel said he was going to go for her as well, didn't he?
Well, Nigel was actually the one who said at the top of the episode that the reason they chose Alex was because they were going to throw her under the bus. This is the next opportunity they have. Oh my goodness.
What?
Are you bored?
No.
Is it
Because
we're
I
not
can
talking
disguise one yawn, can't I, without being called out on the thing. Alex left the podcast for about 30 seconds, by the way, during this episode.
To close the door.
And I just carried on, didn't mention it.
You're good at stretching.
I do half a yawn and you have to bring it up.
I'm sorry. I apologise. It's because
No,
we're not talking about
notice.
Paul enough. We need to talk
Aren't
more
we?
about Paul.
We've talked about Paul the whole
Should we do a
episode.
special? Should we do a special about Paul?
When he gets killed or banished or whatever.
We'll talk about his fact file at great length.
We'll get him on as a guest. But
I'd
edit out
love
all
Paul to
edit
come
out
on.
all his answers.
Yeah, just be silence. Just be like, so, Paul, how did you feel about being on the Traitors?
Oh, do you want me to do something?
No, there's silence.
Traitor.
There's a
That's not
silence
Paul,
that
but
Paul would
still.
react. See, because we've edited
He
out.
would do this. Okay, ask it again.
Okay, the same question?
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? How was your experience on the Traitors? Exactly. To be fair, we've jumped from our kind of misdirection seems to either be Roger or Paul. There are two obsessions in this series of the Traitors. We really gained two obsessions.
We've got lots of obsessions. Fees different looks every week.
That's your obsession.
We build this podcast as it goes along and you all come with us with our journey.
It's a roller coaster.
So who's up for murder then as possibilities? Kate with her bed
Kate,
looks.
not trusted by Marielle. She keeps looking up from the bed. Yep. Fee.
Not another one.
They said
Fee?
she's too
Oh,
clever.
yes.
They said she's too clever. I think they're a bit more.
Not sure.
I love
I
Fee.
keep Fee because she keeps finding people who say sentences and gets them banished.
True.
For no reason.
Marielle is also on the chopping block.
Marielle? No, she's not.
Sorry, not Marielle. My bad. I always mix up Teresa with, for some reason, Marielle. Teresa.
Oh,
Teresa's
Teresa,
on there.
Fee, and Kate then.
No, there's a fourth.
Was there?
Craig.
Craig?
Yes, Craig was up there as well.
No.
I think Craig, although is involved, obviously not to quite the level Paul is, but he is involved. He's not really contributing anything, and I think they just see him as an easy kill.
I like Craig though. It seems I like Dirk in the same sort of side character way.
I think if they got rid of Teresa, it's dangerous because it means Kate. I don't think people will then try to push Kate out so much. If they get rid of Kate, I think that would be wrong too.
Yeah, there's no point getting rid of Teresa because people kind of suspect her, so they could probably get her banished.
I would get rid of Teresa's friend, Fee, if I was going to do it. I love Fee, don't get me wrong, and her looks, spanning from through 3 decades, the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. But we must...
Across the ocean as well. From America to England to... She's got it all.
Around the world, Fee has been looking at styles and thought, that's my cup of tea.
Depends how influential Marielle is, because she wants to get rid of Kate. And she's been gunning for her for 5 episodes in a row.
Yeah, but I think Fee would hurt Marielle. Look at the reaction when Fee and Marielle are BFFs, big time.
Teresa.
Sorry, Teresa. I think, goodness me. I think that if they got rid of Fee, then Teresa would be almost...
Well, we've seen Fee's reaction at Teresa being murdered. She burst
That's
out
what I'm
into
saying.
tears. But
That's
wouldn't
what
it
I'm
be
saying.
odd if Fee was murdered and Teresa was just like, where's my bacon and eggs?
Exactly. She might be.
So she might not care.
I don't know. I think she would.
I've been saying it for ages, but I think Kate's time is up, but I get it wrong every time. So.
I've got a feeling Katie sticks it out to the end. I think she makes it to the final.
Headmaster Kate.
Exactly.
Headmistress Kate.
I think Craig is the easy one. I think Fiona or Teresa is the sensible one.
Yeah, but Marielle said that Craig was easily mouldable to sort of go. I think Nigel can sway Craig's vote quite easy because they're quite good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
friends.
Craig is the easy one. Fiona or Teresa is the sensible one. Kate is for me, is the least likely because I think they could sway her to be banished still. So that seems to make more sense. Plus, if they get rid of Teresa also, it means that Marielle's lies won't come back to haunt her. Where we said where she's been lying to Teresa about Kate and Kate to, Teresa.
So basically, any of them could be murdered. Then
This is the first time. This is the first time where I don't really know what's going to happen.
Right,
Really,
well, you haven't got anything correct yet, so it's not.
Yes,
the
I
first,
have.
It's not the first time. Is it?
Excuse me, I got bloomin'.
Oh yeah, the casino play is correct. That's correct.
I got the casino players right, and Mark. You were like, nah, they wouldn't get rid of him. That'd be sing. And lo and behold, he was
they're
killed.
playing a deadly game, so we just don't know what they're going to do. The Traitors game is so random.
It's getting close now to the end as well. Didn't they say there's only one more banishment after this or something?
I think Nigel said one more banishment, one more murder, and they have the overall majority. If there's 3 of them.
So it's one of the episodes that are on iPlayer. I'm obsessed because obviously I'm not looking ahead because I don't want to spoil anything. But it's one of the episodes of Reunion then, do you think?
I don't know. I've not looked ahead because I don't want to spoil anything.
Well, no, yeah, same. See, that's what I'm saying.
But why don't you just enjoy it as it is going?
Of course I'm enjoying it. I'm just trying
You've
to
got
get my
the
head
epic
around.
episode 9 next, which I've seen one comment online say it's the best Traitor episode they've seen. So now I've
because
bidded
Paul's
everything
in
on it.
Paul's in it.
Paul's episode.
It's Paul's episode. Episode
9.
Yeah. If you turn the P.
Paul's world.
If you turn the P and swish it round, it makes a 9.
Mirror.
Yeah. Mirror the P.
You sound like the guy from episode 1 then. What's his name? Luke? What was his name? Jack
Midi.
with the stare. Jack.
It's
the Philosopher's Stone, but mirrored, but turned upside down with a line going through it and an invisible cloak. That's what he sounded like then.
Has to be Paul.
Paul's episode then. So
Paul's
we'll,
episode 9.
We'll watch that now, and then we'll be back on the podcast soon for everyone to talk about Paul's World and episode 9, whichever.
It's Paul's World. We just
on.
live in it.
You can contact us how if you want to, if you're very quick.
Oh, what? Me? If I'm quick, or if the people who want to get in
If the
touch?
people are quick to contact us.
I'm just stretching out. At Traitors Pod on Twitter. That's right. Gmail, what we are. faithfultothetraitors@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram at faithfultothetraitors. thank you to everyone who's joined us on Instagram. We've not posted anything but one picture, so we've at least done one though.
I've still not got the login. It's been 3 episodes now. I've
Well,
not had the login.
without people kind of trying to hack us, it's the same login.
That
Essentially,
password's stupid though.
it's a good
Roger's
password.
here, looking good.
That's not the password, by the way. Although it should be
Roger Corsa.
Roger Corsa
01.
1. No, it should be Paul 1. Again,
Pool
not our
1,
password.
W-O-N.
Should we start a Paul fan site?
No.
Okay, on that note.